SCP-3763. A piece of him is still around. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-3763 is to be stored in the Anomalous Vehicle Containment Center at Site-48. All maintenance of SCP-3763 must be completed with the knowledge and consent of SCP-3763-1. SCP-3763-1 is to be contained in a standard humanoid containment cell at Site-48. As SCP-3763-1 believes it is in the custody of Marshall Carter and Dark, LLP, all personnel working with SCP-3763-1 are to maintain this deception by any means necessary. SCP-3763-1 is allowed access to approved entertainment material in exchange for its cooperation during testing of SCP-3763. Description: SCP-3763 is a 1964 Chevrolet Biscayne sedan. The vehicle is installed with a Thalbrum vehicle security system, believed to be the source of its anomalous effects. Otherwise, SCP-3763 will operate in a non-anomalous manner. SCP-3763-1 is a young European-American adult male by the name of Daniel Thalbrum. SCP-3763-1 is legally recognized as the owner of SCP-3763 and therefore possesses complete control of its properties. SCP-3763-1 has stated that the vehicle security system SCP-3763 is installed with is the invention of Howard Thalbrum, SCP-3763-1's deceased father. SCP-3763 presents a mimetic effect on any individuals attempting to interact with the vehicle without the permission of SCP-3763-1. Said individuals will experience an anomalous unwillingness to make contact with SCP-3763 when within a radius of 3 meters. When asked why, affected individuals will cite the security system as the reason for their refusal. SCP-3763-1 is immune to these effects, and is able to cancel the mimetic effect on others by giving verbal or written consent for affected individuals to interact with SCP-3763. In the event that a substance is ejected towards SCP-3763, an invisible barrier will materialize, covering the outermost surfaces of SCP-3763 and suspending around it by approximately 3 centimeters. This barrier will deflect all materials and objects thrown at SCP-3763. Said materials will be able to make contact with SCP-3763 with the consent of SCP-3763-1. Discovery: the existence of SCP-3763 was uncovered on July 22, 2010, by intercepting communications between employees at Marshall Carter and Dark, LLP, regarding a Thalbrum vehicle security system. A prototype would be transferred to MC&D representatives at St. Everett's Memorial Hospital in Laurel Creek, California, on July 24, 2010. SCP-3763-1 would accompany the vehicle on behalf of the late inventor. The Foundation was able to intercept this delivery by posing as MC&D representatives and deceiving SCP-3763-1 into turning over SCP-3763 to the Foundation. Due to SCP-3763-1 giving permission to interact with SCP-3763 as needed, delivery to Site-48 was successful. Interview log. The following interview was completed shortly after the arrival of SCP-3763-1 into Foundation custody. Interviewed: SCP-3763-1. Interviewer: Researcher Terrence Tsai. Begin log. Researcher Tsai: Hello, Mr. Thalberm. My name is Terrence Tsai, and I am here today for your orientation as an honorary employee of Marshall Carter & Dark Limited Liability Partnership. SCP-3763-1. Hi, sir. Please, call me Daniel. It's nice to meet you. I have heard that your late father, Howard, invented a revolutionary new vehicle security system. Do you know how it works? Nah, my dad liked to keep secrets, especially around my mom, when she was still around. Do you mind if we run a few tests on the prototype vehicle? We'll need to see how the security system works before we can, put it out on the market. Yeah, sure, just don't crash it. It's actually my dad's first car. He had it since his teens. It's like a piece of him is still around, you know? Thank you for your cooperation, Daniel. Another representative will meet you in here and show you to your new room. End log. Closing statement. After this interview, SCP-3763-1 was taken to its containment chamber. Test logs. The following is an incomplete list of experiments regarding SCP-3763. Test 3763-1. Procedure: D-3578 was instructed to enter SCP-3763 without permission from SCP-3763-1. Results: as D-3578 approached SCP-3763, he became apprehensive about his instructions and refused to make contact with SCP-3763. When asked why, D-3578 cited the security system as his reason. SCP-3763-1, who was watching the experiment, then gave verbal permission to D-3578 to enter SCP-3763. D-3578 complied with the original instructions and sat in the front passenger seat of SCP-3768. Notes: the security system appears to be a memetic hazard and may not actually provide physical security for SCP-3763. Test 3763-2. Procedure: D-6550 and D-4389 were both instructed to enter SCP-3763 without permission from SCP-3763-1. Results: D-6550 and D-4389 both refused to interact with SCP-3763. When SCP-3763-1 gave verbal consent, both personnel entered SCP-3763. Notes: SCP-3763 possesses the ability to affect multiple people at once. Test 3763-4. Procedure: researcher Wendell Wong attempted to operate SCP-3763 around a testing track at Site-48 in order to measure possible performance discrepancies due to its anomalous effects. Results: with the approval of SCP-3763-1, researcher Wong entered SCP-3763 but refused to drive the vehicle. SCP-3763-1 had to give additional permission for researcher Wong to drive SCP-3763. No discrepancies in performance were recorded. Test 3763-5. Procedure: an open bucket of red paint was thrown onto SCP-3763 by a mechanical arm, as no personnel were willing to throw the paint themselves. SCP-3763-1 was not informed of this test. Results: The paint was expelled away from the surface of SCP-3763 by an unseen obstruction. The paint, including the bucket, did not contact SCP-3763. Notes: in the event that contact with SCP-3763 seems unavoidable, the vehicle will be able to divert the materials in another direction to avoid contact. Test 3763-8. Procedure: 2 machine guns were mounted onto mechanical arms and instructed to fire upon SCP-3763. SCP-3763-1 was not informed of this test. Results: all bullets with a trajectory towards SCP-3762 halted in mid-air around 2 meters from the vehicle and fell to the ground. No damage to SCP-3763 was recorded. Notes: there appears to be a unique effect on firearms, as the bullet stopped farther away from SCP-3763 than other materials and did not bounce away. Test 3763-10. Procedure: Foundation mechanic Nathaniel Knapp attempted to wash SCP-3763 and change its oil and tires. Knapp was not informed of SCP-3763's anomalous properties. Results: when in close proximity to SCP-3763, Knapp was suddenly unwilling to perform maintenance, citing his lack of experience with vintage cars. SCP-3763-1 had to give written permission for Knapp to perform the necessary repairs. When attempting to spray water onto SCP-3763 for a wash, Knapp reported that the water instead accumulated on the invisible barrier, giving the appearance of floating puddles. SCP-3763-1 had to issue permission for the water to make contact with SCP-3763. When Knapp attempted to pour oil into the engine, the invisible barrier repelled the oil, resulting in oil entering Knapp's orifices. Knapp was sent to the infirmary, and all repairs were cancelled. Test 3763-14. Procedure: a Ford F-650 would be driven towards SCP-3763 to measure the ability of its invisible barrier. As no personnel were willing to operate the vehicle themselves, a bipedal automaton would drive instead. SCP-3763-1 was not informed of this test. Results: when the test vehicle reached a distance of 25 meters from SCP-3763, its front fascia caved in and both axles locked up. The vehicle halted to a complete stop 3 meters from SCP-3763. The test vehicle was successfully repaired after this experiment. No damage was recorded on SCP-3763. Addendum: following the initial containment of SCP-3763, a raid was conducted on the former Thalabrum family apartment in an effort to retrieve information regarding SCP-3763. While no information was found, 2 letters were discovered, having been sent between SCP-3763-1 and Howard Thalabrum, who was staying at the St. Everett's Memorial Hospital when the letters were written. Both letters have been transcribed below. Hey Dad, I want you to know that I'm doing okay. I'm sorry that I'm not able to see you. However, I'm able to write this letter to you. I know a lot is going on right now. The people at Marshall, Carter & Dark are probably trying to get you to sign something. I just want you to know that I still love you, and I always will. If I could visit you, I would. But I'm just really busy right now with school and all. I heard the news about your cancer. They told me you only have a few weeks left. That has to be scary, and I can't imagine the pain you must be going through. Look, I know I wasn't the best person I could have been. I could have studied more and hung out with better people. when I heard about your diagnosis, I admit I was a bit self-centered in how I responded. I worried about me, about how I would survive without either of my parents, but now I realize that I should have worried about you instead. I should have been there for you, to comfort you as your last days ticked away. I should have reminded you about the things you built, the lasting impact your inventions would have. But instead, I just shunned you. I didn't even think of visiting until now, when I can't anymore. I have so much regret I want to express. All the pain and lost time I'll never get back. The memories I could have made with you after Mom left, they never happened. I wanted to follow my own path, ignoring the man who took care of me by himself. I just want to say that I'm sorry. I'm sorry for ignoring you. I'm sorry that I can't see you anymore. I'm sorry about how I wasn't there for you. I hope you can forgive me. I love you. Your son, Daniel Thalbrum, May 12th, 2010. St. Everett's Memorial Hospital. Patient memo, May 14th, 2010. To Daniel, thank you for writing a letter. You never were good at writing letters anyway, so it's good that you are practicing. While I am disappointed that you were unable to visit your old man, I'm still grateful to hear from you. I have been working well with Marshall Carter and Dark LLP regarding my invention. I appreciate your longing to have spent more time with me, and to be honest, many of the activities you partook in disappointed me. However, I admit that I did not make a big effort to connect with you more, as I was focused on my invention. I should have tried to be more of an influence in your life, instead of chasing riches that I know I'll never get. It took a cancer diagnosis for me to appreciate the time I have left, but I'm glad that you don't need such an event to happen to yourself to appreciate life. After your mother left, I became more focused on my pet project. As a result, I neglected my role as a father in your life, as I was obsessed with success and fortune. Now that I've found an investor, I won't be able to enjoy any wealth that my invention brings me. I'm still going with the contract in order to set up a royalty system for you and your future. The money's going to have to go to someone after all. I just want you to remember that time is short, and there's only so much to do. I want you to do great things with the money and benefit many people. I suppose that's all I have to write to you. I've also put in my will that full ownership of my Biscayne will go to you as well. Oh, and I also accept your apology. Goodbye, my son. I'll see you some other day. I love you too. Howard F. Thalbrum. Thank you for listening to SCP-3763, A Piece of Him Is Still Around, by Jiwon. If you enjoyed this SCP, please like and subscribe, and follow the link in the description to the SCP Wiki, and vote it up to support the author and the SCP Wiki as a whole.